structure. Atom is the smallest indivisible particle of an element. Before we enter into the structure of an atom, let us discuss the terms matter, atom, molecule. Matter. Matter is any substance which has certain mass and occupy some volume. This chalk piece is a matter. The duster is a matter. This blackboard is a matter. Our body is a matter. The water we are drinking is a matter. The gas, the air which we are inhaling is also a matter. So whatever the matter it may be, whatever the form it may be, that means the matter may exist in a liquid state, solid state, or in a gaseous state. The matter sometimes may be visible to our eyes, sometimes it may be invisible to our eyes. Whether it is visible or invisible, whether it is a solid or a gas or a liquid, whatever the state it may be, the matter is made up of small individual particles, which may sometimes called as molecules and sometimes they may be atoms. So matter is a substance which has certain mass and occupy some volume is said to be matter. Now this matter is made up of a small particles known as atoms and molecules. Now what is an atom and what is a molecule? Atom is the smallest indivisible particle of an element which can directly take part into a chemical reaction. Atom is the smallest indivisible particle of an element which can directly take part into a chemical reaction. Whereas molecule is the smallest particle of an element which can exist in a free state. Atom is the smallest particle of an element which can directly take part into a chemical reaction, whereas molecule is the smallest particle of an element which can exist in a free state. Now the question is, what is meant by existing in a free state and what is meant by directly take part into a chemical reaction? Now let us take a sample of hydrogen gas. In hydrogen gas you always find two hydrogen atoms together present as H2 molecule. Whereas if you take a sample of oxygen gas where two oxygen atoms will combine together to exist as O2 molecule. If you take a chlorine gas, two chlorine atoms together exist as Cl2 molecule. If you take nitrogen gas, you will have two nitrogen atoms together exist as N2 gas. If you take carbon dioxide where two oxygen atoms combined with one carbon atom and exist as CO2 gas. So whatever the gas it may be, it exists only in the form of molecules. You will never find a single hydrogen atom. You will never find a single oxygen atom. You will never find a single chlorine atom. Atoms are not exist in free state. Existing of free state means that one. Now, What happens when the molecules are take part into chemical reactions? For example, let us take hydrogen gas. When it combined with chlorine gas, it will give us HCl. So this is a chemical reaction. In this chemical reaction, it seems to us that hydrogen molecule is combining with Cl2 molecule to produce HCl molecule. But in actual practice, it is not like that. Before they combine to form HCl, this H2 molecule will dissociate into two hydrogen atoms. And Cl2 molecule will dissociate into two Cl atoms. And these atoms rearrange to give two HCl molecules. It means H2 molecule is not directly reacting with Cl2 molecule. First, this H2 molecule is dissociate into two hydrogen atoms, and Cl2 molecule is dissociate into two Cl atoms, and these atoms combine to give HCl. That means the smallest particle of an element which can directly take part into a chemical reaction is said to be atom, and the smallest particle which exists in a free state is said to be a molecule. So now we came to know about the three terms, that is matter, atom and molecule. Let us recapitulate. Matter is a substance which have certain mass and occupy some volume is said to be matter. Matter, sometimes it is visible, sometimes it is invisible to our naked eyes. For example, if you take water is in liquid state, we will drink water. This is also a matter in liquid state. We will inhale air. Air is a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and some other gases. So that is also matter because it has certain mass and it will occupy some volume. But this air is not visible to our naked eyes. Whereas water is in a liquid state, whereas air is in a gaseous state. And this chalk piece, it is in a solid state. So all these are matters. Matters means any substance which will have certain mass and occupy some volume is said to be matter. Now this matter is made up of a small teeny particles called atoms and molecules. Now we have two terms. One is molecule and another one is atom. Now let us differentiate these two terms. What is a molecule and what is an atom? Molecule is a smallest particle of any element or a substance which can exist in free state. That means it was available in the form in which we are defining it. It will exist in a free state. But molecules will never directly take part into a chemical reaction. Before take part into chemical reaction, molecules will dissociate into atoms or ions. So atoms and ions can directly take part into a chemical reaction. Now atom is the smallest individual particle of an element which can directly take part into a chemical reaction. So now the term atom means indivisible. The term meaning for atom is indivisible. So indivisible means we think that it may not have some other particles, but later experiment shows that atoms will also contain some subatomic particles. In each and every atom, whatever the element it may be, there are naturally occurring 92 naturally occurring elements are there, and some of the artificial elements are also there in this universe. So whatever the element atom, it may be to belongs to any element, whether it is a naturally occurring element or an artificial element, whatever the atom it may be, each and every atom will consist of three fundamental particles called electrons, protons and neutrons. These are the three fundamental particles that were present in each and every atom. What are the fundamental particles? One is electrons. Next one, protons, neutrons. These are the three particles which are present in each and every atom. That's why we call it as a fundamental particle. In addition to these particles, some more particles are there, are the secondary particles which are obtained due to the internal reactions between these particles. But these are the three fundamental particles that are present in each and every atom. So one element will differ with the other element only in the number of these fundamental particles. Now let us observe the properties of these fundamental particles. First one is electron. So electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson. Electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson. It's a charge. 1 unit negatively charged particle. It is 1 unit negatively charged particle and its charge is 1.603 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs, or it is 4.8 into 10 to the power minus 10 ESU, electrostatic units. ESU, electrostatic units. It will have a negligible mass. Its mass is almost 1 by 1837th of the mass of hydrogen atom. Almost it's a massless particle. Now another particle is proton. This proton was first identified by Rutherford. Here one thing you have to remember, the positive particles were identified by Goldstein. From positive particles, this proton were isolated as named as proton by Rutherford. So the discoverer for proton is Rutherford.